Welcome back to The Pulse. We give you analysis of all the top issues shaping up for the day, and I'm sure we've done good so far. There are some who get caught up in near-death experiences such as accidents, gas explosions, among others, but never recover from the shock. A few end up with what psychologists call post-traumatic stress disorder, which leaves them with recurring images of the incident. 35-year-old Makafui Ewuku's story is, however, different. He survived a flood and moved on with a resolution that he will ensure that his society is rid of filth. He currently makes waste bins by using disposed plastic bottles lying idle on the streets. JoyNews' Joseph Akable spent some time in Ewuku's Medina residence and has come through this report.
It's not unusual to have people drink from plastic bottles, such as this. Neither is it strange to have them dump them on the streets once they are done. More often than not, people forget the impact of such an act. It is estimated that 1 million plastic bottles are bought around the world every minute. This number is expected to jump another 20% by 2021. This means out of the estimated 250 children born in a minute, each can have 4,000 bottles. What is worrying about these figures is that 91% of such plastics isn't recycled. Ghana, like many other African countries, faces sanitation problems as a result. My name is Joseph Akable, and I know a man who knows what to do with this bottle.
Right here with me is a rubbish bin, or what we call a dust bin, made out of empty plastic bottles. There are 157 pieces of bottles in this piece, and this is about a normal size dust bin that we find in households. And it is made such in the way that it is very durable and can withstand the pressure of heavy things. But at the same time, it is not too heavy, so I can lift it up easily in case you want to dispose of the waste.
The UPSA trained marketer and poet who works with NGO One Ghana Movement recalls with nostalgia his near-death experience in 2010 that got him thinking.
I almost got carried away by floodwater sometime in 2010 where I was living got flooded. Sometime around 1 a.m. I woke up to it and the house was already flooded. And I thought of the fact that some of these gutters were being choked by plastic waste and plastic bottles. So I've been thinking a lot about the problem. And we're in a country where everybody has a say and an opinion on issues, but we don't do a lot of action. So I decided, instead of just talking about the waste and probably just managing my own waste well, we could take it a step further and start a waste revolution where we can create viable solutions and viable items from the waste we have. So I decided I wanted to work with plastic bottles. And then I was just going to create anything that I believe is viable with plastic bottles. The essence is to keep the bottles out of the environment and develop viable solutions that are very relevant in the area of health, education, infrastructure, in the area of household materials. Just think of it. We could create anything from the waste, and this will be, in the long term, a better way of managing the plastic bottles instead of just dumping it in the environment.
For many who may have such an inspiration, what remains is the skill. Ewuku does not recall receiving any formal training.
For me, every skill can be acquired. Sometimes we say, oh, I don't think I can do it. This is not my type. I don't have that skill. But if I lock you up in a room and you are not going to come out until you do something with what you have in the room, you begin to think about ideas. The ideas are there. We don't force ourselves so much in terms of doing stuff from it a lot of the times. So all over the world, people are doing stuff with plastic bottles. If you go online, you find that people have built houses with plastic bottles. Somebody has done a canoe in Cameroon with plastic bottles. And there's so much that can be done. So you can look it up. There are so many ideas. But then also, whatever happens after looking it up, you have to try your hands at it. So for me, I just made up my mind that I want to try my hands at anything that comes to my mind, whether it has been done before or not.
Uku then takes me through how he makes the bins.
We have hotels, we have restaurants, we have homes that, use products that has bottles as their containers. So this was what we wanted to do. We wanted the project to be such that we can engage and involve everybody, because the waste problem is not an individual problem. I can't solve it alone. The government cannot solve it alone. We have to solve it together. I was like, well, let's encourage people to give us their bottles, because already a lot of people are paying the waste management companies to come and take their rubbish. But we have gotten to that place where waste management companies should be paying you to collect your rubbish. The plastic is valuable, just that we don't see the value of it. So we put it on social media, we're asking for bottles, and people responded. So anytime somebody calls, oh, I have some boxes, can you come for it? And we say, yeah, we just pick a car, go to the people's houses, and then we pick them up. And that's how we've been collecting the bottles. And personally, my own office too, there's a lot of water bottle business happening there in terms of drinking of water. So everything that is generated in my office since I started working there, I've not let it go waste. I've not let it end up in the environment. I pack it and I bring it home.
Like any other startup, production cost is usually high. A 250-liter waste bin on a Ghanaian market costs about 135 cedis. A Uku's waste bin costs just a little more, but he tells me it's tough assembling raw materials.
Initially, it's going to be very costly. And as time goes on, you're going to find better ways of...
Costly now.
Yes, it's costly. We have to buy spray paint, and we are buying the quality spray paint because, I mean, the inferior ones may not come out the way we want. So we bought spray paint. We have to buy metallic rods, and even the bottles, we have to transport them. And there are times where people want to even sell the bottles to us. So to get regular sources of bottles, at a point we might have to be paying for the bottles. Because people have it, they want to sell it.
So roughly how much for one bin?
Well, for the regular size of bin, which people are familiar with, it can cost between 120 to 160.
Despite this challenge, the poet remains hopeful he can go commercial in the years to come.
We have a goal of taking out 1 million plastic bottles from the environment this year. But we hope to expand. We hope to produce in large quantities laundry baskets and rubbish bins in different sizes, different forms, different colors to meet everybody's need. So we should be able to, in the next 5 years, create a lot of opportunities with this project. And then it's like a double-edged sword. It's creating employment, improving upon livelihood, and then we are also solving our waste problem in a sustainable way. Because we're already spending so much money trying to deal with waste. So if we can create things from the plastic, we can be able to use that money to solve problems in other sectors of the economy, which is very important.
Our engagement could not have ended without he reminding me he's first a poet before a bin producer.
Because they go behind our backs and they buy from China. Chai! Nah. The African dream is beautiful. Now is the time for us to live it colorfully. The revolution to complete our evolution is in our volition. Homeland. Macintosh the poet.